Joe the Failure. Hey, what's going on? It is, what is it? It's Tuesday, 11:35 in the morning, damn near lunchtime, and nothing to do, nowhere to go, really aimless, windy, can't go fly the drone, go explore anything, too windy for any of that. So I'm probably going to the casino. Started going back to the casino a little bit. Haven't been doing much in regards to that, like definitely trying to use it as a come up, which is, you know, that's never gonna really work. Gambling is probably one of the sketchiest things that you could do with your money. But I'm at a bit of a midlife crisis right this second. I mean, I am beyond directionless. Beyond directionless. And what I really need to do is figure it out, man. Where am I going? What am I doing in relation to Joe Does Stuff, in relation to After Prison Show? I'm getting to the point where I want to get back to maybe doing simple interviews on After Prison Show, because I just lost the gameplay over there. That fell apart. The whole team disbanded. Turned a little shitty, but walking away from it diplomatically, because I just don't want the drama. And, you know, whether it's drama or diplomatically, it doesn't matter. What's done is done. The gameplay is unfortunately done. And man, if that don't screw me up. Well, how about that? Little woe is me turns into, man, I was going to the casino, man. That's where I was going. And I didn't want to go there, but I just got a call from Jellicoe, so I'm going to go meet with him instead. He's available. And that brings me to the whole point of doing the interviews. Hell, I'll probably even film a video with him today. So that gives me a little bit of purpose today. Kind of crazy how I feel like I'm at absolute freaking rock bottom, and that was something needed. For my phone to ring and it to be anybody was what was needed. So I'll go meet with Jellicoe. Maybe we'll even film a video. We will absolutely film a video. I've got my camera gear with me. I was ready to film a video if a video presented itself. So yeah, man, let's go get with him, film a video, and not go to the casino. Good deal.
It's good to see you, bro, and I'm glad you still got it rolling, man.
Shit. Trying, but
I mean, hey, man, every day's a struggle. You know, every day you got a new battle.
I could bitch about it, but people got way worse problems than not getting views on the internet.
The hardest battles are given to the strongest soldiers, brother.
All right, well, how about that? Just got a chance to see Jellicoe, and Brett is what he's going by now, and Jellicoe is usually what people call him when he's not doing well or locked up. So I feel like that went pretty well. Was able to film what I hope will end up being a really good video update with him. Certainly beats anything else that I was going to end up getting into. For whatever reason, as I'm looking at myself, I just feel like I look like pure tea shit. I just feel like I look bad. But kind of tried to kill two birds with one stone right there. We were at this mall, which is basically abandoned. Jellicoe and I had lunch here, and then we were able to go to the old Bally's Total Fitness that is nothing more than just an overgrown abandoned lot where it looks like a homeless person is camped out at. Certainly saw what looked like a makeshift camp, and film an update video and also a bit of an exploration video, just checking out that spot. Who knows if mixing the two of those was really the right thing to do, if it came out good, but overall I think the video is going to come out really good. It beats just some little mundane sit down. That fills me with some hope. I want to get back to featuring stories. I feel like I'm relatively good at that. I need something to focus on, because the gameplay is over with. And I'm gonna be honest, it probably was not even the right thing anyways. You know, my schedule didn't line up very well with other people's schedules, and man, that's a tough thing when you got a lot of people involved in a situation, and it takes a lot of people to make something happen. More times than not, that could end up being just not the greatest. But I was sad that the gameplay was over with, but everything happens for a reason. And even though I'm maybe more so sad that it feels like another bad business deal, because I invested $4,500 into the gameplay, and man, that thing just ended abruptly and kind of a little bit beyond my control. I'm filled with a sense of purpose and hope again after talking with Jellicoe. He's a lot like me, which is crazy, you know, a very lonely guy, even though at times he could be having people around him. And right now he definitely doesn't have anybody around him. This is a welcome change that he's going through right this second. And, you know, it does suck to feel like you're all alone. And it's a feeling that I am far too familiar with. I feel alone all the freaking time. And mostly feel like the only person that I've got to talk to is all of you via this camera. But anyways, I'm not gonna Dr. Phil myself here. It was cool to be able to do something. Take number 2. Wednesday morning, 9:47 in the morning, and getting the show on the road. And what show are we even talking about? Because we've literally got nothing at all to do. It's freezing outside. It's 54 degrees, and it feels like the dead of winter. Had to break out the heavy coat. And I've got all of my camera gear with me. I've got the drone with me. We do got a little bit of wind, but so what? I hate that glare right there, too. Makes it look like heaven is just shining right on down on me. And you know what? Maybe that's a good sign. I need some blessings right this second. Everything is in a bit of a slump. The gameplay fell apart, unfortunately, and that's got me really beating myself up, even though it's got nothing to do with me. It was just quit on by everybody else. And, well, I don't want to say everybody else. It was quit on by Frankie, who was supposed to be my partner in that thing. And, well, ain't nothing like taking $4,500 and setting that shit on fire. And Joe with the brilliant business ideas. So anyways, because of the fact that I've been down in the dumps and not, back to a spot of not trusting anyone and all that good stuff, I want to get out and about and try to get back to doing something that I'm good at, and that's featuring stories. And I've got a couple of prospects of new people to begin featuring the stories of all sorts of random shit, and not just prison content neither. You know, I'm going to expand the horizons here and say we're going to focus on all things struggles in life here. Because, you know, a big part of After Prison Show is based upon the struggle of my life in the past, and also, unfortunately, it's still here in the present to a certain degree. But I feel like I'm good at sharing stories, and I also feel like that could give me something positive to be focusing on, to be productive with. Now, I don't really got but a couple of prospects, like I said, of stories to be featuring right this second, but I'm literally just getting back to this idea yesterday. And not only that, neither, also abandoned exploration, herb Xing, which I'm going to start taking to the max. So we need to be productive here. And one way to do so is getting out. Well, I gotta be honest with you, I am looking rough. All right, hey, what's going on? So, just got an opportunity to film a big old video at this abandoned trailer park, and man, when I tell you that was crazy, the owner rolled up, more of his family rolled up on me. Man, what a wild video that's going to end up being. I'm sure you dealt with.
All right, now I'm going to tell you one more time.
Yep.
You're supposed to ask for permission to be out here.
So look for that coming real soon if you haven't already seen that. Now I'm getting ready to go meet with a guy named Mike, who clearly has a drug problem, which is sad. But in terms of somebody sharing a story, Mike responded to my ad on Craigslist, and he's all over the place with his story, but it definitely sounded like it was interesting to a certain degree. Actually, it was really interesting. He mentioned abuse, he mentioned getting locked up, he mentioned having a business where he lost $100,000. He mentioned how he likes black women because of abuse that he dealt with as a child. And he, my God, and he mentioned that he's married to a black woman now, and good for him for that. He just recently had a child. But yet he's living in a tent in the woods, or he was literally walking around and ended up at a tent in the woods. So I say that he's clearly a drug user because he told me that he was. He was like, hey, if you're going to come meet with me, but he asked me to send him $20 so that he can go get his medicine. And I said, look, man, I need to come meet you first. So where I'm meeting him is in an area that is definitely heavily populated with people who are struggling with homelessness. Went out there a few different times just on some humbug stuff, trying to meet people. But he gave me an address to meet him at. I'm interested in seeing the location in the woods. I really want to see that. I feel like I'm falling apart, looks-wise. It's hard to explain, but I feel like I look like pure shit these days, and I don't know what's going on, man. Anyways, we're chasing down stories. It's 12 o'clock. I just filmed a big video that I'm excited to get to working on, and I am on my way to go see about another potentially big video. Is it my hair? Like, I just can't stop looking at myself and feeling like I'm looking goofy. Let's go see if we can meet this guy, Michael. He pays you to sit in the corner and what? Holy shit.
Like a prostitute in front of them. They tell me what to do, and you know, sometimes they'll get into it, they'll come, you know, smack on the ass for name tag right here.
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Just my conversation with you. I can already hear her saying no. This is wild. Yeah, so crazy. I see a few different tents set up back here. Definitely don't want to mess with nobody and bother them, but it'll be interesting to see if they want to share their story a little bit. How many tents are back here?
One. She started crying. She's, you know, she's embarrassed.
Yeah, definitely not to try to embarrass anybody or anything like that.
I get it. Yeah, sure. You know, I'm a veteran. I was an aircraft before in the Navy. When I got out of the Navy, they went to a fucking 3-year hiring freeze. Got into sales, and I worked in kitchens as like a line cook. Worked grills, sauteed, bread, fry. And got into sales, became a project manager, worked for a guy for 5 years, 6 years. It was very cool to me. I was, when I found out about my first daughter, me up, you know, I missed all the baby time. She don't know who I am from somebody else's dad. So I started drinking. And when I drink, I hate the feeling of being intoxicated, you know, like uncoordinated.
Right.
So I do the coke to even out. And then once I'm on coke, it's fucking on.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking hotels, prostitutes, no limit. Well, it's a great high, right? It's the best high. But after the third time doing it, you become physically dependent, and when you don't have it, you're sick as fuck. And when you do get it, you know, you don't. The high's not there anymore. You know, you might nod a little bit, might feel a little bit, but it's an awful thing. I despise heroin dealers. It's like cheating, you know. So something that people need to be well. Cocaine is a mental thing. Weed is, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I guess this shit's shut down.
I've been here.
Yeah. I think they got everything locked up. I think I was just reading the sign that said that this whole thing was shut down. Yeah, I think they got it all locked up. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. This is counterproductive for sure.
Basically, I'm in limbo. I gotta get my license renewed, which I can't do. I gotta go to a person. I never have enough money to go up there and do it because when I have the truck in the ladder, I gotta spend the money for fucking zero.
Yeah.
And, you can't work hard. You know, you make $600-700 a day doing repairs and gutter repairs. I can't work for $20, $30 an hour.
What do you need?
I feel like I'm wasting my time to spend 8 hours and make $160 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Bananas. You know, there were days I'd make 7, 8, 9, 10,000, 20,000 in a day. I'd put half in my wife's account, we'd party for a fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The jobs would go in. My company ran like a beautiful, well-oiled machine, man. I had the same 30 guys working for me for almost a decade. Christian worked for me for a third of his life. And all these guys would still pump for me. I don't have a license, I don't have insurance, I don't have paperwork. I'm not doing any jobs under the table anymore. I want to do it the right way. And my body isn't what it used to be. I got arthritis in my hips and my knees, so I'm smoking cocaine so I can be flexible and get up on the roof and do the shit myself. It's, you know, my wife is still using, my daughter's, you know, with her cousin because, you know, my wife had drugs in her system when she had her, you know. I got arrested 2 days before my daughter was born. I didn't see my daughter since she was 7 months, and even now I only get to see her once a week. And she's so perfect. She's beautiful. The delivery almost killed my wife. My wife spent a week in the hospital afterwards. They didn't tell me that while I was locked up. They didn't want to stress me out. But it's like, for the first 30 years of my life, I didn't have a conscience. You know, I wasn't a bad guy. I was just very selfish, very one-sided. Nobody eats but me. I always had to take care of you. I was ruthless. And then I met my wife, and my world got color. She taught me empathy, sympathy. She taught me how to love. She saved my life. And then God punished me for all my sins. When my wife is fucking out to here pregnant, he takes me all my money, he takes me my houses, and he sticks me in fucking jail. But I know my wife really loves me because she was with me when I had lots of money. She stayed through with me when I was in jail, and she's with me now that we're struggling, but the struggle's almost over.
All right, well, that was an absolute bust. I mean, was not feeling that situation at all. So I pick up dude from in front of the hotel. I tell him I want to go see the area in the woods, but he was telling me about, he goes and tries to make that happen. I guess it was a lady or a woman that was staying in there, and she wasn't feeling that. He told me that she had a substance abuse problem as well, and you know, she was banned from all of the hotels or the motels in this area. And we were leaving, and one of the homeowners came outside with his dog and was very curious as to what we were doing and who we were. And I told him, I said, hey, look, I create video content. And I said the same thing basically to the guy who ended up being the owner of the abandoned trailer park that I went to earlier today. And it's starting to seem like that isn't as taboo to people as maybe it once was. As soon as they find out you're filming videos, they become a little more either curious as to what you're filming about, maybe a little less skeptical of who you are, or maybe even more skeptical, you know. But in this particular case, this homeowner was like, you know, what are you filming about? And I said, you know, just trying to showcase people's struggles. That's what brings me here. So then he starts telling me, you know, what it's like to be a homeowner. He's got a beautiful home right next to where this tent city situation is, and how you can clearly tell that that is a nuisance to him. And he doesn't want it there, and who would? But the guy Michael that I got a chance to meet, or Mike that I got a chance to meet, you know, clearly dealing with an addiction problem, and not only that, but, you know, actively using right in front of me, which I was not very comfortable with at all. But, you know, he asked me if I was a cop. I thought that was kind of crazy, because, I mean, he was already smoking crack right in front of me. And, you know, I'm not trying to make fun. I'm not trying to degrade in any type of a way. I don't want to be around it per se. But if I'm going to be out here trying to capture the nitty gritty, I mean, that's part of what it could be. But that is a situation that I've not been around in a long time, in decades. I haven't been around that in decades. And, you know, don't want it in my truck, don't want it. But he shared with me some really wild shit. I don't know how much we were able to get on video. He told me that he used to have a roofing company, and that basically went belly up due to addiction. And, you know, it was a business that I guess at one point was pretty successful, and now it's not a business anymore, and it's maybe sporadic work here and there. He mentioned that he made a lot of money over the course of time, but it all went to drugs, it seems like. And you know, he shared some unbelievably wild things that he does for money. And I believe him, man, because I know how crazy this world is. I don't even know how much of this I can actually share with you. And I don't know that I was able to capture it on video because he was telling me about it while I was filming, but it was windy. You know, he's saying that he's got people who pay him, a guy that pays him to literally go on a prison date in front of him, you know, a show for one, a table for one, so to speak. Like a guy literally pays to watch him do that. And maybe that same guy, or maybe another guy, he said, pays to watch him engage with, you know, women who are about that type of life as well, which sounds absolutely insane, just to be honest with you. I gave him $20, and he told me that he needed more than that. He said 40. I said, nah, man, ain't no way. I'll give you 20 bucks. You know, I don't know that I'm gonna continue to work with this guy or feature him. I don't want to say work with him because there's nothing that I can do in this situation. Like, I've been in that situation before where we're trying to help somebody. I don't feel like this guy is in a place where he's looking for help. Maybe he is, who knows? What if he's the one that we can save? That would be crazy. But it is a very sketchy situation being around this guy. And I didn't even want to get out my camera equipment. Like, I didn't feel comfortable about that. You know, but when you're thinking about the story that people are going to want to watch, it's going to be a story like that, unfortunately. So who knows? I told him that I would hit him up. Jeez Louise, these freaking roads. I've got something that I got to do tomorrow. I did tell him that I would hit him up tomorrow, and who the hell knows? You know? We'll see where all of this goes. But I think for the time being, I'm going to wrap this video up and go home and start looking at some of this footage. I've got a ton of footage. I've been filming all day long, and I'm excited getting back to this type of video work. I'm going to lay off the live streams for a little bit too. Let's get back to going out every single day and just trying to find a story every single day. Folks, I'm going to wrap this up. Hope this was a video you guys enjoyed. I'm going to look forward to sharing more with you guys real soon. And until then, take care.